The Hegemony Council of Seven had ruled the galaxy for over 3 millennia, their authority absolute and unquestioned. From their crystalline throne world of Axiom Prime, they had overseen the rise and fall of countless civilizations, determining which species deserved membership in their grand alliance and which would face extinction. High Chancellor Vorthake stood before the massive holographic display showing the Sol system, his scaled features twisted with barely contained fury. The humans had been a minor annoyance for decades, a primitive species that had somehow stumbled into faster-than-light travel and refused to acknowledge their obvious inferiority. "The humans have rejected our ultimatum," announced Counselor THYSSL, her chitinous form clicking with agitation. "They refuse to surrender their homeworld and submit to hegemony authority." Chancellor Vorthake's laugh was like grinding metal. "Did they provide reasoning for this defiance?" "Yes, Chancellor." THYSSL activated the recorded message, and the hologram shifted to show a middle-aged human woman in a simple blue uniform. Fleet Admiral Sarah Chin of the United Earth Defense Force stood in what appeared to be a basic military command center, her expression carrying the calm confidence of someone who had made peace with impossible odds. To the Hegemony Council, Admiral Chin began, her voice steady and clear. "We have received your demand for unconditional surrender. After careful consideration, our response is simple: no." The council chamber erupted in shocked chittering and outraged roars. No species in recorded history had refused a direct ultimatum from the Seven. The human admiral continued, as if addressing colleagues rather than the galaxy's supreme authority. "You claim dominion over our system based on your technological superiority and military might. We acknowledge both. However, you seem to have misunderstood something fundamental about humanity." She paused, and her expression shifted to something that made several council members uncomfortable. "We don't surrender. It's not in our nature. You can destroy our ships, bombard our cities, and reduce our homeworld to ash. But you cannot make us submit. Every human who dies will take as many of your forces with them as possible. Every city you claim will become a fortress. Every victory will cost you more than you can afford." Chancellor Vorthake terminated the transmission with a gesture of dismissal. "Primitive bravado. Deploy the Third Fleet. We shall teach these mammals the price of defying the hegemony." The war began 3 standard days later. The hegemony's initial assault was meant to be a demonstration, a swift, overwhelming display of superior firepower that would shatter human resistance and serve as an example to other upstart species. The Third Fleet, consisting of over 200 vessels including the massive dreadnought Inevitable Conquest, dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system. Expecting token resistance, they found a nightmare. The humans had turned their entire solar system into a weapon. Asteroid fields bristled with hidden missile platforms. Seemingly empty space contained clouds of kinetic kill vehicles programmed to ram anything with a hegemony energy signature. Even the gas giants had been weaponized, their orbital mechanics altered to serve as massive gravitational slingshots for relativistic projectiles. But the humans' most terrifying asset wasn't technological, it was psychological. Every engagement followed the same pattern. Hegemony forces would achieve tactical victory at enormous cost, only to discover that human casualties had taken precise measurements of their weapons, ship designs, and tactical doctrines before dying. The information was transmitted in real time to other human forces, who immediately developed countermeasures and new attack strategies. The humans were learning faster than the hegemony could adapt. 6 months into what should have been a 3-day campaign, Chancellor Vorthake received a priority transmission from Fleet Commander Zethvar of the battered Third Fleet. "Chancellor!" The veteran officer's voice carried exhaustion and something approaching fear. "The humans, they're not fighting to win. They're fighting to teach us why we should be afraid of them." The final engagement came at Earth itself. The human homeworld was a scarred, burning ruin, its population reduced to scattered survivors in underground bunkers. By all military logic, the planet should have surrendered. Instead, Admiral Chen transmitted one final message as her crippled flagship fell toward Earth's atmosphere. "To the galaxy," she said, her command center burning around her. "Remember this day. Remember that when tyrants demanded our submission, we chose to show them what defiance looks like. The hegemony may claim victory over Earth, but they'll never claim victory over the idea of Earth." Her ship impacted the planet's surface with the force of a small nuclear weapon. The explosion was visible from orbit. But Admiral Chen's words had been broadcast across all frequencies, reaching every inhabited system in the galaxy. Within weeks, rebellion sparked on dozens of hegemony worlds. Species that had accepted subjugation for centuries suddenly remembered what resistance looked like. The humans had lost their war, but won something far more valuable. They had broken the myth of hegemony invincibility. 3 years later, Chancellor Borthake stood trial before a new galactic assembly, his empire shattered by the revolution that Earth's defiance had inspired. The humans had become exactly what Admiral Chen promised, an example that would outlive them all.